guys, YOLO Boy VC back with another video, and today we're going to be doing another Rise of Nations tutorial, but this time it's going to be something a little bit different. It's going to be tips on how to win a 1v1 in Europe, specifically Spain versus Italy, which is like, they're pretty equal to each other, similar population, stuff like that. They have a sea to protect them. So I'm going to show you guys what I did to win against a player, and of course, these probably aren't always going to make you win, but these are some good suggestions and tips, and yeah, I hope you guys will like this. Alright guys, so I'm not doing this recording live on the video. What I'm doing is I'm using a recording I used for the 1v1 I did yesterday, and I'm going to just comment over what I did and why I did everything I did, and give you some tips in between there. So let's get started with the video. Alright, so I just loaded up to Italy, so we're gonna see what we do here. So first thing I like to do is always just build electronics factories using the money I have. And you know, the reason I'm not doing any trades yet is because I don't want to waste that money on buying trades until the electronics factories are almost complete. And I found that a lot of players just go for trades first, which isn't always a bad thing, but generally you're gonna have enough gold and copper in each country that you can wait a little bit to trade. And so right now I'm just making my military groups as well, waiting for those electronic factories to go up. Let's see if I get a general. I got a general, so let's do that. We've got decent movement. Let's see here. Yep, so we still got a while to build electronics. And meanwhile, I'm going to carefully watch over Spain, just see what he does. And I'm going to be doing that throughout the video a lot. So that'll be nothing. You'll keep seeing that, and that's really important to do. Make sure you always watch your enemy. Alright, so I'm just looking at the trades. It's clear he bought from Chile, I'm pretty sure. No problem. I'm going to buy from US and Zimbabwe now for gold and copper. Should be good. So yeah, so I'm fucking broke as shit right now, but that's about to change. So those factories are almost done. At least some of them are. So I might as well go over the rules. Basically, we just can't expand, but we can trade all we want, and we have until June 2021 to get ready for the war. Alright, so those electronic factories are almost done. That's great news. Alright, gotta buy some titanium for Russia, because we're gonna be making motor parts and steel, and we need the steel first, so we need titanium for that. And let's see, I bought some tungsten from Kazakhstan because the fucking trade cooldown lets me that could trade with Russia for like another 10 seconds. Let's see here. So it looks like Spain already got electronics up, so it's time to sell to Japan, get some money, get some money started. And you'll notice my income jumps up quite a bit. So I won't go for research spending right now because I probably won't finish research by the time this 1v1's over. Which it didn't. It was not even close. I wasn't even. The fucking 1v1 was over and really short. So, alright. So let's see. Yeah. So just keep on making electronics factories because those are my big money makers in the early game, and they're gonna be carrying me throughout this 1v1. Great. So I'm buying more copper and gold out. Buying some more titanium so I can make aircraft parts, and aluminum and chromium, which are also for aircraft parts. Great. Finally get some iron because I forgot to bid. I forgot to get iron. Alright, so now we're getting our steel manufactories up. At least one of them. I didn't have enough money for the other one yet. Oh well. That'll change. See, it's fucking crazy how electronics just shoot your income up, and that's why they're so good in the early game. But you have to be careful where you trade, and I'll do another video of trading electronics in public servers because that's pretty tough for a lot of people to get a country that can accept their trades. Alright. Luckily in a VIP there's no issue with that. Alright, electronics factories, more of those are going up. Gotta get some oil from Saudi Arabia, which will be useful for later. Definitely gonna need that for ships and tanks. So you can see he has some factories too, not as much as me yet, but he's gonna get a few. So I'm gonna have a lot more though. And you'll see what I do here. So I've been constantly watching my political power because I'm going to switch to socialism as soon as I can. Because socialism has that factory production bonus that's fucking crucial. You'll get like a good portion of electronics for free doing that. And that's really helpful. Let's see here. Yeah, so he's making his own electronic factories. Still more of those coming up for him. Well, more coming up for me too. See, my income's running a little bit dry because of all the trades and shit. Almost there to socialism, which is great. And I'll show you one fatal mistake this guy makes is he does not change his ideology. He stays unaligned. He didn't go nationalism or socialism. Personally, in these 1v1s, I always prefer socialism. I always go socialism when I can, usually, unless I'm a democratic country, because, well, nationalism has less military upkeep. The electronics bonus you get, like the bonus you get from factories, just makes it way more worth it than the military upkeep bonus you get as nationalism. And it's way more worth it than like the no benefit you get as non-aligned. So you can see I'm just going to be selling more electronics to China. But I don't want to sell too many, but I just sell them all. Sometimes I'll just not sell as much as I have because you never know if you get that one event where it's like the worker strike. And yeah, those are nasty. The mass demonstrations where it just reduces your resource gain and generation of factory stuff. God, I can't see today. Anyways, yep, so I'm just getting more stuff. So he's still not aligned, but I got socialism as soon as I could. So yeah, I had like 80 electronics extra from that, which is why I was able to sell them and make you a few million more, which is always good. Why I said go socialism. Cool, and getting another steel manufactory up. And yeah, I'm not using a script here, so if I make any mistakes when I'm talking, it's just part of the thing, you know? No script. I don't use scripts. I prefer live commentary. Alright, so I just got more research. Of course, research is going to be absolutely useless in this fight because it's so short and so early. Making some motor factories now. Gotta get those motor parts up. And it's almost starts in a year. So it's March 2020 right now. So June 2021 is when the war starts. So I got a little bit more than a year to start getting ready, my military and all that. You're gonna see how fucking many factories I placed in the course of this battle, or this setup rather. So I got some medium research spending, because why not? It doesn't hurt, it's only like $1 million, and I have the income now to afford that. I do public service act, which is something I usually don't do as socialism. I usually do that when I'm communist, but with the forced labor policy, but I need more electronics now, so I sacrificed a little bit of my political power gain for the extra electronics, which certainly helped me a lot. See, my income's about to shoot up. Yep, it's like 10 million extra now. That's fucking crazy. As you can see, that's insane. That's more than like most countries start out with. I'm pretty sure maybe US makes more than that starting out, but that's a lot. Especially for a small country like Italy. So I go for capital fleet because I'm going to be building a bunch of battleships into carriers, or at least one carrier. Probably I only built one because I could only afford one, but I had like 10 battleships, so capital fleet always helps because it makes your battleships and aircraft carriers build faster and they're cheaper to make. So, you know, it helps. Best doctrine to go for Navy, in my opinion. So yeah, 19 million income right there. I'm going to be using a lot of that income. So now it's time to get some fertilizer from Tunisia. Or not fertilizer, phosphate, so I can make fertilizer rather. Because I want to make some consumer goods. You can sell consumer goods too. They sell more than electronics do. Of course, it takes longer to get consumer goods, but if you have a lot extra and you can sell to anyone, I would recommend selling it. If you want to, at least. If you want the extra income. Electronics just, they're so annoying to make because you have to make a bunch of them. With consumer goods, you can make, with max resource production, you can make like 100 per factory. It's crazy. More than 100, I'm pretty sure. It's a lot, though. They don't take a lot of the resources either. At corporate dealing, I generally always accept those. There's a small risk that you'll get the worker strike or, yeah, corruption, but that's a very small risk, and it's usually worth it. It's usually worth the extra money that you can get, because now I can develop my cities and get a little bit extra manpower gain while I'm at it. Just research. I usually do that a lot, even though, of course, I said it before, it's not really important here. But it's always good to, just in case the fight drags out longer than you expect, you get an immediate, you can just instantly boost wherever you want when you're done with research. Now, one thing I like to note is that in these kind of 1v1s, which like Spain and Italy, Spain does kind of have a disadvantage here because they only have like 3 square cities, while Italy has more, like 6 of them. So you can't spam as many tanks, but it's much easier to get to Italy's capital, Rome. So that's also a downside for Italy. But they're about the same in terms of power, so they're not the. It's not like there's like a distinct advantage over one country or the other. So now I'm gonna start building consumer goods, and yeah, I'm gonna build a lot of those too. I'm gonna have like 300 extra. Always good to have extra to sell. And build some airports. Because I was gonna make some attackers and stuff, but I really didn't have a use for them. But it's always good to have some extra airports so you can spam some fighters or attackers if you need it. Because attackers can save you. If someone sends like a big stack of tanks towards you and you spot them in time, you can just bring your attacker over, fucking decimate it before they can even split their troops. And yeah, that's why they're so useful for defense. Even for attacking too. With the carrier, you could probably get a good range, but I didn't really need attackers, so. Because the carrier range is enough to target all of Spain. And if you're Spain, it's enough to target all of Italy. So, yeah. So yeah, so he's behind me in the rankings, I'm pretty sure, or about to be. It doesn't really matter, rankings don't really matter here, but he's still not aligned, which is where the issue rises. He's not going to be able to produce as many electronics, so his economy's probably worse than mine right now. No, it definitely is worse than mine, and he can't build as many consumer goods or anything either, so he has to spend more on trading, and it's just ugly for him. So now I'm going to build some battleships because it is November 2020, and before I know it, it will be June 2021. Build some submarines too. Gotta build a full fleet. And on my fleets, I'm going to say right now, you do not need an excessive amount of destroyers. You only need like 4 destroyers if you have like 10 battleships. Maybe like you could get away with 2 destroyers because one destroyer can kill like 100 subs, and destroyers are mainly there to kill subs. That's like their only purpose at this point. So in a fleet, when you group them together, you only need like a small amount of destroyers compared to battleships and submarines. It's always good to have a lot of submarines if you can, because they will shred battleships that survive, which usually the battleships are the only surviving ships when there's a close naval battle. So now I'm going to slowly group up my navy. A little bit difficult. It's hard to get your navy sometimes to group up, and it's frustrating, especially when it lags. You'll have submarines that just go fucking towards the land when you try to command them to go around the island. They'll just head towards the island head on, and it's so annoying. Then got some more battleships going up. So my goal is I'm just gonna wreck him with a navy, and then I'm just gonna keep him pinned down. I'm just gonna send tanks to him. He won't be able to do anything about it. Which is why these L1v1s are so naval dependent, and which is why you want all the money you can get. And all the oil too. So now I'm gonna sell some electronics to South Africa. So South Africa and Germany, they both, you can sell 21 electronics to them each. So yeah, it's something you don't normally think about when you trade electronics. And I tried selling to Russia. Of course, it's not gonna work because Russia's broke as shit. I don't know why I tried selling 100. But I'm pretty sure you can't sell that much to them because they're pretty broke starting out. But I did sell 100 to Brazil because they do have some money as a democracy, more than Japan does. Alright, so now I'm going to start grouping my navy, more ships that are coming out. And this guy still only has destroyers, so yeah, he's going to have to get ready to build some battleships, especially because war is about to be here in just a few months. There you go, making more battleships, grouping them up. And I have like 14 ships total right now, which is pretty decent for a small fleet. Anyways, now that I have like 20 million income and 14 ships, including some battleships going up, I'm going to build a little bit more subs. And I'm just going to make sure I'm not running out of resources. It looks like I need some more copper, and I don't want my electronics trades to get interrupted, so I buy some from Russia. And then I get some phosphate, extra phosphate from Egypt. And just making sure I'm not losing anything else here. Everything seems fine. So now I just got to get some oil, because I'm in an oil deficit. And now this guy is not buying oil from like anyone, so I'm just free to buy the oil from like Algeria, Colombia, and Brazil, and he can't do anything about it. So when he has to buy oil, he's gonna be stuck with like Venezuela and stuff, which is a benefit for me and a double benefit for me because I get the oil I want, and it reduces his oil too. Now I'm selling 100 consumer goods to Brazil and stuff like that. Uranium, I don't know why I clicked on there. It's not really important. Just checking my electronics trade, see what he's trading with. He's trading with Brazil too. Electronics though. And Mexico it seems. And meanwhile, I'm going to try trading with the United States. Try 200, but I know that's not going to work. So of course that gets declined. Alright, so now it's time to make some tanks. Alright, so now that carrier that I built earlier is here. And so now I'm grouping my big navy up. This guy finally has some battleships. But it is May, and so I justified on him because the war is about to start. And so now I have a full fleet, and I have tanks queuing up in the build queue. So yeah, we're about to start this war, and we're going to kick some ass. Total ass. Alright, so it's June, so of course the war was supposed to start in June, but I didn't justify early enough, so it's actually going to be starting in July. Of course, just making sure my trades are good. He has some consumer goods too, but it's not a lot, and ultimately it won't matter, because I'll just fully annex him when I'm done. And yes, I did manage to sell a few to the USA too. Some consumer goods. Alright, building up some more battleships, just in case he builds a bunch himself, which I doubt, but you know, it's good to be safe. And my justification is almost done. Let's see if I can get Navy Commodore. Yep, Navy General is there, or Admiral, Commodore, whatever you want to call it. I just call them generals. Alright. And we're at war with Spain. So now, his navy is in the range of my carrier, so it's going to be taking damage. So he only has one choice, which is to basically go to me. And as you can see, he's not really, he got kind of confused there. And his tanks are, he's trying to retreat his tanks too, because they're in the range of the carrier. This guy sends his destroyers in subs low into the fleet, which are just going to get destroyed because I have a full fleet, and he only sent part of his fleet in. Now he's sending his battleships in. I'm just going to be annoying as shit, and I'm just going to just try dodging it, even though I could totally just kill his fleet right now in the defense if he just charged at me. It's just funny to sometimes go around with their carrier and they're just taking damage and they can't catch up to you. Just trying to annoy him a bit, and also keeps him away from managing his other settlements, his other troops and settlements too. Alright, so his destroyer goes in alone. Just did a little side swipe there and just went right into my navy. And my 2 battleships are going up too, and there goes his battleship. So now he has no navy, and now basically my carrier is in range of his entire country. Once I just move it right here near Barcelona. And so I'm going to send my first group of tanks through France. People normally don't expect you to do this. They usually just expect you to land by sea. But you can actually go by France too. You don't take that much attrition from it. But it is a bit slow. And I'm getting my 2 battleships in here. He doesn't have any subs, I don't believe. But I do be careful. I do bring my destroyer over. My 2 destroyers just in case he has subs. And yeah, so I'm basically just going to be waiting here, just camping out right next to his country. He can't really spam anything. Can't spam troops or tanks. He could maybe try artillery, but I don't think he has the income for that. Maybe he does, you don't know. I wasn't playing as a country, so I couldn't see his economy or anything. So now my tanks are close to the city I was taking. I forgot the name of the city. Either way, they're just making their way through the last part of France. So yeah, you can literally tell right now, like, carriers are like the ultimate aerial denial. They're basically just a floating artillery, max research artillery rather, but they actually have more range than max artillery do. So you cannot range artillery, which is very helpful in some situations. Anyways, this guy has a neutrality act. I didn't realize that at first. I was like, why is it taking so long to take Madrid? But nah, he has a neutrality act, which gives you like 100% resistance and 25 base stability and all that. That's like the one good thing going on online has, but like even then it's not the best. Like you might as well just pick an ideology, like socialism, communism, all that. Don't go liberalism though. Please don't go liberalism. It's like the worst ideology in the game. Anyways. So now I got a second group of tanks. I'm taking those by the sea. And I start to realize, like, hold on. I'm about to take Madrid. I should probably heal my guys. Hopefully I have enough tanks left. Looks like I'll just be able to barely take it. Yep. I lose a lot of my tanks in the process, so I'm going to have them heal up. And yeah. Alright, now my second group of tanks are going to be going by the sea. And they're going to go and, yeah, do some mayhem. Mayhem in the Mediterranean. Now, I have to be careful here because this guy probably he might have subs. I always got to be careful. So I do try to put some on destroyers so they can escort the tanks over. Come over here just in case there's a sub that sinks my entire tank army. Then I come across this glitch where the naval ships freeze. And this happens a lot. And so I'm like, what the hell? Half the time to unfreeze them, you have to end up training them. And then stop training. You'll see it works right here. So yep, so I stopped training. Now they move again. But yeah, that could have been a big risk if there's subs there. I could have had subs and I had to send my main fleet over, and he could have done something slick. So yeah, always good to have escorts with you. Alright, so my main group of tanks that came from France are healing up, but I'm like, why are they not healing? I didn't realize my manpower is so low. But it doesn't really matter because at this point I'll have enough tanks to take over all of France. So I'm just gonna let them heal up just a little bit more with the few thousand manpower I have left. To see, yeah, like why are they not training? Oh, my manpower. I have 66, and it's just like, what the hell? Still, I mean, I still haven't realized it either. But yeah, it's pretty funny. I thought I was gonna do something about it already, but no, I waited. Yeah, here we go. And now I'm like, let's see, I can't make mass attacks, so I'm just gonna go limited conscription. Alright, now we're gonna auto capture the rest of Spain. And yeah, this is pretty much, we're just gonna go around just taking every city we can with our auto capture. He can't do anything about it, he just gave up after my navy was, he gave up after my navy killed his. There's not much he could have really done there with the carrier there. And that's the power of carriers, they're so fucking overpowered. They're so overpowered, but they're so weak too, so you always have to have a fleet to keep them safe. I didn't even use my attackers. There you go, just taking everything I can here. My guys in Barcelona have a little bit of issue, but I'm just gonna set some tanks to take that. At this point, he really can't fight back. He really can't. All of his cities are being sieged in main Spain, so we just have his islands left. So I'm gonna send my navy through this Gibraltar Strait, which is probably like the most annoying thing to do. Because half the time we'll get stuck on the land, and it's so annoying. But, let's see, I think one of my ships got stuck. Yeah, my destroyers got stuck, which is very annoying. You could just had a sub there, and it just sunk all my shit, if you had enough subs. And I couldn't do anything about it. There you go, my destroyers are out of the strait. I left another group of destroyers there to make sure my, I'm trying to make sure my tanks are going to be safe too. Always make sure there's always just be vigilant, make sure there's no subs around you. Bring destroyers just in case they do, because you know, they can strike from nowhere. Here you go, about to siege the last cities. On the islands. Collapse Spain, there we go. And I just beat Spain, with minimal difficulty. Minimal difficulty right there. And yeah, that was one of the 1v1s I actually won in. I usually don't do 1v1s a lot. I usually prefer to play with other people. You could see though that the carriers and the carrier really helped. It was basically the biggest thing that helped me probably, because no other ship has that range. So definitely going socialism, getting my electronics up, having the economy to do that was definitely crucial in this. And no other ideology that could probably do that as easily as I could with socialism. Besides communism, but good luck getting to that really. Anyways, yeah, so that was a W right there, and I hope this teaches you guys how to get your own W's in 1v1s, because you know, always good to win, always good to win, and always good to teach someone or teach other people about how to win too. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day.